I'm going to concentrate when it's on hard mode. So essentially, we're jumping into the storyline here. It's already in the heat of the action. Cap's already doing his airdrop infiltration into this castle in the mountains of Bavaria. It's a huge complex, as you can see it kind of sprawling out there. And he comes in as only Cap can. Shield first, no parachute. And here, because we're kind of on the tail end of the tutorial here, as we're coming in halfway through the game, this is the first tutorial for knocking out guys on the ground. They got knocked down from Cap's airdrop in, and then I'll let this guy get up so I can show you a little bit of the other actions. So defensively, of course, Cap can block. You can also, as he's being attacked, you can dodge out of the way, like so. The same button for dodging can be used just to kind of traverse the environment. You can move around freely. Keeps you faster than the enemies. As far as offensive actions, you can strike. I'll actually finish this guy off with some strikes here. There we go. So, as you can see, pop up here. I'll grab some enemy intelligence. This leads towards upgrades. As you can see, the complex is actually pretty large, and that's only one wing of it. Probably be able to see it better from this bridge out here.
Gotta find a way to take out.
So there's kind of an example of one section. There's a lot more beyond the buildings over here. And right now, the plan is Cap's got to take down that AA cannon. It's the one that was just shooting at the plane he jumped out of. So one of the things about the game that we really wanted to make sure people had fun doing was moving your way throughout the environment. And so we placed these enemy dossiers all over the place. There's also other collectibles to find. All of them lead toward upgrades. Some of them actually unlock more information about the fiction of the story. So what is this castle? What is it doing here? Who owned it before Hydra got here? And why did Hydra take it over? So I'll show you one of our other defensive moves, which is counter here. And it really leaves guys kind of staggered and stunned. Counter can be done from any direction as well. We'll just let this guy recover, and you can attack me from the other direction. Spin around to deal with him, and then you can follow up to drop a guy to the ground. When he's on the ground, again, knockout. So this is all fine and dandy when it's only two guys, but you'll see as we progress through the demo, it gets harder and harder to deal with the more people there are. So this here is a little nod to World War II. Cap's essentially deciphering this keypad that controls the doors and locks and security of the castle. What he's done here is he's narrowed down the code to two patterns. And what you're doing as a player is you're finding the common character that it's on both of these patterns and then putting them together, which essentially is him deciphering the code. It's a little bit of beautiful mind action. We wanted to kind of get inside Cap's head and show you what how Cap thinks, essentially. So in here, you'll hear the voice of one of our main bosses in the game. That's Baron Strucker. He's a little upset that his men failed to shoot down the plane that Cap just jumped out of. So he's kind of telling his men they should do better, threatening them with bodily harm, as every good villain does.
See me coming
so from a distance, this is one of the ways you can use the shield. Holding down the button to aim, you can aim at any of the targets. There's a little bit of sticky assist on there to help you aim. So these guys will spin around, looking for where that came from, and then we'll take this last guy out. Yeah, he meant to do that. Yeah, this doesn't look good for Cap.
Tower's coming down.
So he's got to get moving. I'll show you our platforming system here. So I'll just pop outside here as things are starting to explode. So our platforming system is all about rhythm, and what you want to do is you want to hit the button just as he is contacting the next object. This moves Cap faster through the line. It also, if people are shooting at you while you're on a line and you're moving along like this, I'll show you what happens if you slow down. He kind of goes a little slower. If you get stuck on an object while guys are shooting at you on your platforming line, obviously Cap's going to get shot. If you move through the line quickly, they will always miss you. So it gives you incentive to move through the line faster. The other thing that you're getting too is the more you chain your successful moves on a platforming line, the more you're gaining focus, which you can see at the bottom left-hand side of the screen, the flashing blue bars. And I will show you what focus is for right after this. First, we've got our first set of ranged enemies. If I hold down block, Cap will auto-face incoming attacks. And you'll see that little flash on the corners of the screen there, on the edges of the screen. That's Cap's tactical sense. What it's telling you is that there's an incoming attack, and when those two bars come together, they're actually taking the shot. So if I just hold down block, obviously he's just going to block. But if I risk it, and I don't block, and then I tap it at the last second, you can actually deflect bullets back at the enemies. Oh, I missed that one. So this can be done in conjunction with other attacks. You can also dodge over top of somebody when one of those is coming together, and they will shoot their buddy. And I'll just get rid of this guy with a grab. All right, so that takes care of our first set of ranged enemies. As you can hear on the PA, Baron Strucker's a little upset about the fact that Cap's in here. I'm gonna keep moving though. Got another one of the keypads. Now, as you move through the game, these puzzles get a little bit more difficult. The patterns get more complex on the left and right hand side, and then eventually a time limit is added to them as well. So obviously, in a place as big as this, not only are you going to have soldiers, but you're also going to have the technicians that work the machines and keep everything tip-top shape. This is what internally we call them our pests, but they're also known as mechanics, kobolds, and docs, depending on what they're outfitted in, whether they're working medical, engineering, or just plain maintenance. So I could go up and I could punch these guys and I could fight them, but you know what's a lot more fun is those machines look like they could be a little unstable. That'll do the trick. So it's just an example of one of the places where you can kind of make decisions. You could run in, you could get the drop on one of them and punch them and then have to fight the rest of them. You could do a ricochet shield throw at all of them, or you can aim shield throw, blow up the things that they're working on and take them out. So Cap's just got to head up this ladder real quick. Since that first AA cannon was taken out, he's just going to call into headquarters and let them know that the job is done and that he's safely airdropped in. So on the radios that you come across, he is talking to Peggy and Howard Stark.
Captain America to headquarters. Come in. Over.
Cap, this is Peggy. Are you all right? That drop.
That was the easy part. But be advised, the flak's so heavy I could have walked down on it.
We know. The invaders are on their way to back you up, but we need you to take out the long-range AA cannons before they can safely airdrop.
Copy. Maintain schedule. By the time they get here, the skies will be clear. Captain America out.
Cap's a pretty confident guy, so he's going to go get the job done. Now we're going to come across the first kind of major fight in the entire game, actually, where multi-waves of multiple different types of enemies. So I'll show you a little bit more of some of the things that are in Cap's arsenal here. First of all, I'm going to let loose with a ricochet shield throw. So that will go out and hit multiple targets. Obviously, during combat, you can still use the aim shield throw as well. Oh, can't deflect when the shield's not with you. So, as I said before, that focus meter on the bottom lets you essentially enhance your existing abilities. So, if I strike with the strike button, if I hold down the focus shift button and I hit strike, I'm going to get a big crippling strike, is what we call it. So there's a different one for each of the enemies. If I do it to this guy, I'm going to get this. Little "this is Sparta" action. And then another ability that we have is called Weaponize. So that is actually focusing with a grab. So I'm going to just get behind this guy and just take over here. So that's how, when you use focus with a grab, you will actually weaponize enemies. It's most effective against guys who have ranged weapons, but you can also do it against guys who have melee weapons as well. Now another thing Cap can do, out of the block state, there's actually several moves. The first of which I'll show you here